All right, let's see how this one goes. So, news came out today about Sean Tucker being listed as the number 2 on the Buccaneers depth chart. And what that means from a fantasy perspective. I do think it moves the needle a little bit, though not a lot. Like if you're not on a league where you're running out of people on the waiver wire to pick up, I don't think he's a priority guy. But like there's a much cleaner profile now for a Sean Tucker to be a potential league winner. He's going on underdog as running back 67, 208. So he's going to probably go through most casual leagues undrafted. I couldn't even find him on ESPN's ADP. I did pick him up in one league, but that's just to stash him until kickoff, and then I'll probably drop him for a kicker. But that's just because I'm a difficult human being. So my thoughts on the Sean Tucker situation are that if you have Rachaad White on your team, you should handcuff this guy. Sean Tucker is not a regular undrafted free agent. There were some medical concerns. That's why he fell. He probably would have been drafted, and we probably would have been talking about him, his situation, whether or not he would have been higher in redraft leagues. But he fell, and then there was some question about whether or not he's going to make the roster. Well, obviously he's made the roster. Obviously the coaches like him enough to make him number 2 on the depth chart. I was reading someplace, I couldn't find it, that they think that he's more of a 2-down back than a 3-down back. Primarily, I think it was something about his pass protection. But the brass tacks of it are Chase Edmonds is not going to be he couldn't even stay on the Miami Dolphins last year. He's not really a threat. And Keyshawn Vaughn, the 3rd round pick from a couple years ago, hasn't moved the needle at all. I think this is last year on the roster. So the Rachaad White experiment is, as a 3-down guy, is going to be interesting. And if he can't do the actual running part of running the football, then Sean Tucker's going to take over and be a 2-down guy. That's going to, on a lot of other teams, that would move him automatically maybe into the low end RB2 range, if not just a RB3 flex range. But the Bucs might be really, really, really bad, and that means very little red zone work, and just a 2-down thumper. And if that's the case, then he's limited. But if you have Rachaad White, the reason why you want to go pick him up is because the tea leaves are saying if you're one injury away from having a guy that may or may not be given the chance to be a bell cow. And I don't care about next year in redraft. I care about this year. And if I can see that window, I'm going to take that window. If I drafted Rachaad White, now I've got my clear handcuff. I need to put him on the bottom of my roster. And like I said, on other leagues, if there are clearer guys to roads to get work, like a Devin Achane, I'm still going to keep those guys on my roster over Sean Tucker. There's probably still tight ends like Luke Musgrave that I keep harping about, and Jawan Johnson that I'm going to pick up over Sean Tucker. But he's a guy that at least in at least for the guys that have Rachaad White, this is a priority. And if you think that you can leverage Sean Tucker towards the owner of Rachaad White, that's also another strategy that you should be thinking about doing. So anyway, about 4 minutes, I got my work in. I like this video, I think, better than the old video. So I'll think about something to talk about later.